Hello, everyone. Everyone can hear me? Yes? Okay. Well, it's nice to be together again. And I really like to sit a few minutes in advance and just watch how the images pop on the screen. So it's really nice to see how everyone is connecting. So yeah, let's get started. Let's reconnect and strengthen the chi field first. We'll do it in a brief way, maybe just for 1 or 2 minutes. And I will also mention some of the names of the people who do the training via the recordings, so we can include them in the chi field. I'll just mute everyone first. Okay, so let's relax back and close your eyes if you like. And connect with the calmness in the universe. Connect with Yuan Qi in the universe. Dissolve yourself. Become one with the whole universe. And then come back to our planet. Connect with the wisdom culture there, everything that humankind has achieved. Connect with our Renshui teaching. Yuan Gong and Ren Yuan being part of it. And let's focus on our class. Connect with all the participants. Everyone you have seen at the first session. Everyone present at this session. Visualize there are many bright lights around you, surrounding you, all the participants. And let's add a few more people to the chi field. Let's add Miriam Blank in Austria. Simon Sharp in the UK. Gerald Dickinson in New Zealand. Amelia Downey in Australia. And also everyone else who who didn't have to reply my email, but it's still part of this chi field. And just for a moment, use one of your hands and turn clockwise in front of your body and visualize all the light created by all participants is becoming one unified chi field. There is much brightness. And 5 shin in the chi field. And also willingness to better ourselves, to develop further our abilities. And help others do the same. And when ready, you can slowly feel your physical body again and slowly open your eyes. Well, let's start our second class. Probably everyone has seen my email about asking who would like to be corrected during the practice. And I got replies for about 10 people who would like that. So I would like to say a few words how we can do that. It's not the easiest way to correct people online, but I will do my best. So I just want you to know that even if I'm trying to adjust one person, it may take me let's say a few moments to see the movements of this person, and then you know, give some advice if there is a need to do that. So it takes time. I won't be able to watch everyone at the same time. I can focus on one person. So just to make you aware that I may not be able to give advice to each one of you during every practice. I'll do my best, but if we want to be very thorough, maybe we have to keep practicing one section for 15 minutes, which is sometimes not a good idea. So I'm just letting you know that there are some limitations there. But using Zoom gives us also advantages, and one of them is that you can replay and see your own movements, and also see my comments about somebody else's movements and learn from that as well. So this is, I believe, great advantage. And I received a feedback from somebody who actually video taped herself. Apart from the Zoom session, she did that after that, and she observed her movements as well. So this is another option. you can do that, and it could be very useful. Also, you may, once you have a recording, you can check your movements against Kelly's movements, because she's our model, and you have the demonstration DVD of Yuan. Some of you have access to at-home learning, so there is another, you can use it also to check there, because there is a little bit of difference between the demonstration DVD, which was shot a few years ago, and at-home learning, which is more new. So you may notice Kelly is doing some of the things slightly different. Also, you can use the demonstration recording, which is on YouTube. Probably it's on Renshui International website. I will send you the link. And it's a free recording, so if you don't have access to at-home learning, you can use that recording as well. So plenty of video recordings to check. So if you are not sure about something, please send an email, and we can talk about this in a more detail. But what we do here, our first goal is to bring your awareness on some of the details. Then you work on them, and see if there is need to clarify something, you send an email, and we talk about this at the next session. So I hope this will work well. So that's about the recordings. And now we can go back to where we left at the last session. We spoke about Shinfa, and also you received some additional materials on Shinfa. If you have questions, please send them, and we'll keep coming back to Shinfa, because this is the core of the practice. But today we'll focus more on the opening and the first two sections of the practice. Before we go there, I would like to come back to one of the questions that was asked last time. It was, how can we focus inside the body? And you remember that I gave you a few different options on physical level, how you can do that, then on chi level, and also using the mind and using the consciousness. So the physical part we use mainly in the preparation, when we prepare the body, when we adjust the posture. And if you have trouble relaxing certain part of the body, let's say your arms or the back, there is one trick you can use. You can tense just for a moment this part of the body, and then you can relax it. So this way you can create a contrast, because when it's relaxed but not so relaxed, sometimes it's different to relax even further. But if you feel it, if you bring some tension to it, then you are more connected and you might be able to relax further. So you can try this if you have trouble relaxing the body. And From that moment onward, we focus mainly on qi, so not so much on the physical body. That's why we call it qigong. So it doesn't mean that we completely ignore the physical body. We don't do that because we try to have total awareness. So to be aware of the body, but also aware of qi and aware of the consciousness. So we don't pay too much attention to the physical body because it creates stronger sensations, and then we won't be able to feel qi or to be aware of what the mind does. So be aware of that, not to put too much focus on the physical body, because it will overpower all other things. So I wanted to just to clarify this. And we'll do a little bit of questions because some people practiced a lot the opening cloud hands, and some questions came out of that. So we'll start with cloud hands again. And I would like to mention that safety is first when we do Run Yuan. We are all old practitioners, no beginners here, but it's good to mention this because we don't allow pain. So if some of the movements creates pain, you need to modify it so there is no pain. Or if that's not possible, you may just skip that movement until the body gets healthier. Some discomfort is fine because we also train the body when we do the practice, but try to make sure it doesn't go to pain, so we don't push that far. It's different from other qigongs where pain might be required in some cases, and it's not a bad thing, but here the movements are such that we should avoid that. And I'll read the first question. Is that all right to do it with eyes open, or do you want me to practice with my eyes closed and not go as far to the left and right? When I go to the right, I'm somewhat shaking and unbalanced. Opening my eyes helps me keep my balance. So you see here the connection with the safety. We don't want to lose balance, because if we fall, it won't be Run Yuan anymore. It becomes something else, and we may injure ourselves. So if you feel that you lose balance, you keep your eyes open. That's pretty simple to answer. Actually, I see that this person has problems only going to one of the sides and going to extreme, and then there is a problem. So there is also a choice, because we don't want black and white. For instance, you can practice with limited movement, but with eyes closed, if that's possible, if that doesn't create danger. And this way you can work on your state, to go deeper in your state and feel qi and all that. Or you can also train a little bit of do training of the body and do a little bit, go more to the, I think the right was the right direction where there was the shaking. So again, not to create pain, but just to train the body a little bit. So discomfort is okay, some shaking is okay, provided that there is no danger of losing balance. So you can do the practice in two different ways, with eyes closed and a little bit more physical, or eyes open, a little bit more physical, or eyes closed and working on getting to a deeper state. Okay, so there is another question. Do we go up and down? Yes, we do. And I will demonstrate in a moment. We are completely, the body and the legs are completely straight when we are at the middle. When we turn to the sides, we go down, and we also shift the weight to that side. Then coming back to the center, the weight is equally distributed, and legs are straight. And then we go to the other sides. Again, we shift the weight and we go down. So there are these movements up and down. How much do we shift the weight? We start with a little bit, let's say 60-40. So just a little bit. And when you feel more comfortable and strong, you can go up to 20-80. And I saw that some of you are doing that during the last practice. So all depends on your physical condition, and if you want to make your practice more intense. If you feel strong, doing the practice more intense will have stronger effects on Qi. But if you feel weak, no need to go there. Just do it a little bit 40-60, let's say. Okay. And another question. Sometimes when I practice, I have the feeling the arm is leading the way, right to the right, left to the left. You said that it's the waist that leads the way. Are they both leading at the same time? Shall I not focus on the waist? So that's a good question. Thank you for this one. Actually, the way should be led by Qi, so not by the physical part of the body. When the body knows the movement, it should be Qi leading the body. The turning, however, happens from the waist. So your hips stay pretty much facing the front. They don't turn sideways. They may move a little bit, but not much. We turn the body from the spine, so the waist is mainly where, lower back, where the turning is happening. So maybe the word leading from the waist is not correct. We just, let's call it, we allow the body to turn from the waist, if this makes sense. Okay. And there is one more question. When you turn the arms, do you start moving while you turn, or you wait until you finish turning before you start shifting weight? And maybe I will stand up and do a demonstration so we can figure out how all these different movements come together. So let me do that. So maybe I will say a few words about each of the movements, and then in sequence. The stance we use should be about 1.5 to shoulder width. So I noticed some of you last time had smaller than 1.5, and some of you had actually wider than 2. So if you are unsure, you may measure your shoulders and also put some marks to get an idea what is the correct posture. So smaller width is better if you are shaky and you are not physically strong. Otherwise, you may go wider, which requires more. It's more challenging. It will help activate more chi, but you need to be ready for that. So there are few movements here. So first we do the hands, and at the same time we go up and down, and at the same time we rotate the body. So when rotating the body, have a look at my hips. So I'm trying to rotate the body without turning the hips. Now I will turn the hips. See, if I turn the hips, see how now they are facing this way. So this is not what we want to do. Hips should stay pretty much this way, and we turn from the waist. And I think I mentioned last time, you may compensate a little bit with your feet if there is a need, but try not to move much, not to turn much here. So this is not correct to turn this. So we need to turn this way rather than this way. I hope it's visible. So all these movements should keep going continuously. So for instance, when we move the hands, we don't stop when we are at the side. We should keep moving the hands all the time. So they shouldn't stop anywhere. And that's something that everyone does. But you may try to observe yourself when you go to the side. Sometimes the body stops there and we just turn the hands, and then we go to the other side and we keep moving the hands, but the body is not moving. Can you see how the body is fixed, and we start moving when we finish turning the hands? Ideally, this shouldn't happen. So even we we should be going up and down all the time and also turning the body all the time. So that's what we are aiming for. No need to go to extreme to get stiff and try to necessarily move everything. Try also to do it with, Shinfa. So to be light, to be natural. And yeah, this is a tricky part. I'm also working on that. So I don't think that I have perfected that, but it's a process. So even a small improvement matters, and you will feel that when you do that. So this is about the movement, and when we finish, when we do the last turn to the right, we go to the center, and before we finish the practice, we need to be squatted slightly. So the upper hand can go down and the body can go up. If we are straight, we can only move the hand, but it should be, synchronous movements of the body and the hand. So there are no precise instructions how we end. So we are here, and whether we stand up and go to the center and then squat down and do that, or when we are at the side, we just stay squatted and move to the center and do that. So there are two different ways. There is no requirement saying it should be done that or that way. See what works for you. But for this movement, you need to be squatted first, and then you do the movement. Let me see if there is something else. Yeah, the last thing is that during the whole practice of this session, the body should be upright. So, for instance, my body should be pretty much upright. I shouldn't lean this way or doing this way. I'm exaggerating a little bit. Body should be pretty much like that when we do the movement. So I hope I covered the most important points, and now is time to do a practice, and we'll do the practice in two parts. I will check the physical movements first, and at some stage I will stop the recording, so you will continue doing the movements without instructions, and I will mention the mind activity. So during the second part you will focus on the mind's activity, but I'll give you instruction about that. Before we do the practice, any questions? Was it clear what I mentioned over there? Just unmute your microphone if you want to say something. Okay, let's then do the practice. So adjust the camera if there is a need, and stand up, and I will play the recording.
人缘
Practice of 人缘
调整身形
Adjust the body
两脚与肩等宽
Feet apart at shoulder width
自然站立
Stand in a natural posture
两手自然下垂
Arms hanging naturally
周身中正
The whole body centered and upright
目平视前方
Look straight forward
目光回收
Draw the vision back slowly
两眼轻轻闭合
Close the eyes gently
舌抵上颚
Tongue tip on the upper palate
全身自然放松
Relax the whole body
头颈放松
Relax the head
两肩上肢放松
Relax the shoulders and arms
胸背放松
Relax the chest and upper back
腰腹放松
Relax the abdomen and lower back
两胯下肢放松
Relax the hips and legs
全身自上而下放松，从里而外放松。
Relax the body from head to toe, from inside out.
调整神意
Adjust Shen and build the Qi field.
意住体内是虚空，
Awareness inside the body. Feel the emptiness and spaciousness within.
由内言外充天宇。
Expand this awareness out, becoming one with the universe.
神入身中归宁静，
Draw the awareness back to the body, calm and peaceful.
恭敬心态助参穷，
Open to the universe with utmost gongjing.
天宇光明之仁爱，
Let the bright universe nurture the heart with compassion and love.
自在喜乐气通融，
Feel relaxed, free and joyful. Qi flowing harmoniously and smoothly. Cloud hands to activate yin and yang. Shift the weight to the right. Step to the left. Rotate the arms in front of the body. Left arm above the right arm, holding a Qi ball. Turn the body left. Rotate the arms and turn the body right. Rotate the arms and turn left. Rotate the arms and turn right. Rotate the arms and turn left. Rotate the arms and turn right. Rotate the arms and turn left. Rotate the arms and turn right. Rotate the arms and turn left. Rotate the arms and turn right. Rotate the arms and turn left. Rotate the arms and turn right.
Keep going. Bill, try to, when you go to the right, it seems that you are turning the hips also as well. So try to change that if possible. Now keep doing the movement, and let's focus now on the mind activity. Visualize you are turning the chi of the whole universe, drawing all the chi of the universe to your hands and your body. Just make yourself completely one with the chi around you, but also chi of the whole universe. And there is no need to be specific. Just have a vague idea of all the chi around. And the chi you are holding is also one with your own body. So you are turning your own chi as well. So ideally there is no physical body, it's chi body, you are a chi person. And there is no distinction between internal and external.
Rotate arms and back to the center. Lower the left hand while straightening the legs. Nourish chi. Separate hands and place hands below hips with fingers in the groin. Relax the whole body.
Stay in this posture just for a few more moments and keep nourishing chi. Your hands are not at lower dantian, they are on the sides in the groin, but you can continue nourishing chi. You can keep your awareness in lower dantian. And when ready, you can slowly open your eyes and sit, please. Yeah, I didn't make much corrections because I saw that you make genuine effort, and it looks more or less okay. Everyone, of course, is different, but again, I wasn't able to see everyone. How was your practice? Would anyone like to share anything? Yeah, please unmute your microphone, Monica.
Even though it was just that piece, the direction that you gave around working with the chi and unification was very powerful. I'm quite surprised in a sense, just how lovely that was and what a deep state. So bringing all those pieces together at once is really wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Monica. Yeah, actually, I felt the chi field is changing when I start talking about the mind activity. So yeah, thank you for confirming that, because sometimes I'm not sure whether my state is changing or the chi field is changing. So yeah, thank you. Anything unclear about the movements you would like to discuss? I see Lorena is coming. I will unmute for you. Oh, it doesn't work for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, okay. Well, are you happy to move to the next section? Is that fine with everyone?
Could I ask one question?
Yes, Kat, please.
Yeah. So, yeah, also that was lovely. I really felt the difference in using the waist and not, I think I've been in the habit of turning the hips too. So that felt really, really different. But my question was around the hands. So when you come, when you're coming round, I was watching you when you were doing your demonstration. I'm still not quite clear whether you sometimes look like you kind of started the change before, so you were down and then you started that change. Do you kind of bring that bottom hand up as you raise your legs? Is that when you start that movement?
Well, yeah, there is no fixed requirements when exactly we start turning the hands. So you can start turning them before you go to 90 degrees, and to make this more smooth, or you can wait to 90 degrees and then start turning the hands and also start raising the body and shifting the weight back. So there's no, how to say, wrong or right. The most important part is not to stop on any level. And this is also not black and white. I see that new people, they usually stop when they go to the end and they think, oh, what's next? How should I change my hands? But none of you does that. Everyone, the hand movements are continuous. So I guess the next step is to work on the rest of the movements, for instance, going up and down. And most of you, when they go to the sides, the body stop moving. Just the hands are moving. So that's the next stage. But yeah, turning the hands can happen anytime. So there is a section where we don't turn them in front of the body, and when we are close to 90 degrees, we can start, or we can wait till 90 degrees. No big difference. That's my understanding. Okay. So
I just wanted to say that I also found it very different in focusing. Could you lower? In focusing on not turning the hips. And so it had a different quality, and I'm not exactly sure ultimately what that is until I practice it more, but it felt very different. For just the waist to turn and the hips to be mostly facing forward.
Yeah. Thank you, Barbara. Definitely, it's different, and yeah, it's exploration. I agree, and I myself keep exploring combinations of all those things. No need to go to extreme to be completely fixed and try not to move the hips at all, because this would be wrong as well, but we try to move them as least as possible. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let's go to the main parts of the methods, turning heaven and earth. Uplift, clear, yank. So that's the title of the first segment. And there are 3 sections there, and all of them includes turning. So I guess that's why we have this title, Turn Heaven and Earth. And also, the other thing they have in common is that they help uplift clear yang. So all these movements make yang qi go up. And we'll start with the first one, turn the head, turning the head, I think is the title. So I would like just to give you a very simple how to say, to mention something very simple. Probably most of you know that, but we need to start and then we'll do a practice. So let's introduce so-called waypoints. When we are turning the head is here, so this is waypoint number 1. Then we go to the side, so that's waypoint 2, waypoint 3, waypoint 4, and 1, where we start. So the movement happens, the nose is leading the movement. Again, it's qi, but let's say the nose is drawing a circle. And what I want to say is body is upright and legs are straight, not locked, but straight when we are here. Head is pointing up, the nose is pointing up. When we are to the left, waypoint 2, the nose is pointing that direction. The body is still upright, but the legs are slightly down, so we are a little bit like that. So we are not straight anymore. The legs are bent a little bit or starting to bend, but the body is still upright. And when we pass this point, we also start bending the body and we go a little bit lower. So I think that's enough for a start. Any questions before we do the practice? Okay, let's do that. I will just play the 6 verses once again so you come back to your good state. And the posture should be 1.5, 2 shoulder width apart, the feet, and hands below the waist on the hips and fingers in the groin. Okay.
Adjust Shen and build the qi field.
意住体内似虚空，
Awareness inside the body. Feel the emptiness and spaciousness within.
由内言外从天宇，
Expand this awareness out, becoming one with the universe.
深入深中归宁静，
Draw the awareness back to the body, calm and peaceful.
恭敬心态助参穷。
Open to the universe with utmost gongjing.
天宇光明滋仁爱。
Let the bright universe nurture the heart with compassion and love.
自在喜乐气通融。
Feel relaxed, free and joyful. Qi flowing harmoniously and smoothly. Segment 1. Turn heaven and earth, uplift clear yang. Leading with the nose, tilt the head back. Left. Lower the body and down. Raise the body and right. Back. Left. Down. Right. Back. Left. Down. Right. Last one. Back. Left. Down. Right. Back. Head centered. The other way. Head back. Right. Down. Left. Back. Right. Down. Left. Back. Right. Down. Left. Last one. Back. head centered.
You can relax your hands, gather chi around the body, and nourish chi at lower dantian. And when ready, you can sit for a moment. Where to start? It looks pretty much okay, but there are some things that I will mention, and you may pay attention. The first one is I just want to mention to Lorena about the how far apart the feet ideally should be wider. I think your feet were about shoulder width. I don't know, maybe you have a physical problem to keep them like that, but yeah. So just for everyone, do the measuring thing, just to make sure that you are you know, in the correct range, if your body allows. Okay. So something I noticed, but it's very difficult to see it from the screen. I believe that some of you a little bit go overboard at waypoint 3 when the nose is pointing down. So I think somebody was going that low. It's not needed. Let's say we bend mainly the upper part of the body when we go down. So no need to go, you know, that low. I will do one circle. So hopefully this gives you an idea how low. You can check also Kelly, the way Kelly does, but no need definitely to go too low. Think also about the circle. You draw with your nose. If your body is not very flexible, you can start with small circle, small but good, and gradually make it bigger and bigger. So again, we don't push too much, because this part of the spine is quite, how to say, fragile, especially if there is some problems, and most people have problems in this area to some extent. So be gentle, no pushing, no stretching. So what we do here has nothing to do with the stretching we do in the next segment. So the movement should be soft and gentle. And if you can't do big circle, don't push. Just practice this the maximum number of times in a soft, gentle way, and you may feel that your potential to do a bigger, circle will increase with the time. And another common mistake, I'm not sure I noticed that, but usually people do that, because I also caught myself doing that, is turning the body as well. So when we do the turning, the body should face the front. We shouldn't turn to the sides like that. We should turn just the head from the neck as much as we can. Any questions you may have?
This isn't really a physical question, but I see a lot of different colored lights, like red or yellow or green or something. Does that mean anything? I mean, obviously they're colors of certain, on the chart there. But do you is it just your heart is doing something, and your spleen is doing something, and your liver is doing something, or is that?
So do you get this only during this section?
No.
Or?
No,
Mm-hmm.
And so, well, it varies actually. The first, before I just got red. Now I'm got the 3 colors.
And is it with eyes closed or eyes open?
Closed. Closed.
Closed. Okay. Yeah. I guess it's not easy to answer what creates that. Definitely Qi is involved, and it could be physical, it could be your physical eyes have this perception, but also it could be your brain, because your eye parts of the brain are stimulated by Qi. So this could be not something that your physical eyes see, but something that can create these effects on the nerves of the eye, and the brain part that corresponds to that. Definitely has something to do with Qi, but my understanding is that we try not to analyze it, because it's difficult to be there is connection with the organs, but it's more than that. So it's quite complex to analyze, and maybe it won't lead us to anywhere if we do that. So
Okay.
I would say just observe it. Try not to get attached to it, but notice it. Say, okay, it's interesting, and you may take notes if you like the way it's changing. But yeah, it's I would say it's something normal. Many people get colors during different exercises. Yeah. If any of the other teachers would like to add something to that, that's fine. Barbara?
It's not about colors, but it's about when after we've turned our head 2 or 3 times to one side, and then the nose pointing up, and then it's time to straighten the head. I've always felt like it feels like important to kind of be pulling up from my way rather than just like flopping my head back. And the same when I put my head back. It feels like there's a pulling up and then back. And a lot of times I'll see people, it looks like they just kind of like flopping their head. And for me, it feels like there's a whole different structural feeling when the by way is involved.
Yeah.
Any comment? I don't remember if you once have taught that. haven't looked back at that, but I know that as I've done that over the years, it always feels like it's like, pulling up and then back.
Yeah, thank you, Barbara. That's actually very important. And it is connected with also what Elaine has experienced. So when we turn the head, it looks quite innocent, nothing special this movement. We are just turning the head and doing some exercise for the neck. But actually, if we do it in a good state and if we are relaxed, this would make Yang Qi go up, rise. And you remember this was in the title of the segment. So when Qi goes to the head, it can create all sorts of effects like seeing light. It can, if the Qi of the person is not well balanced, it can create also dizziness. So be aware of that. So this is another effect. Light is one effect, dizziness is another. And it's important to end the movement properly. So what Barbara mentioned, lifting from Bai Hui, is the right way to center Qi and balance Qi, because with turning the head we activate Yang Qi and it can create certain imbalance, and we need this moment when we pull from Bai Hui up to balance Qi again. So we do this twice when we change the direction and at the end of the section. So, and it's very important moment. So thank you, Barbara, for bringing it up. Pay attention to that. It is a way to balance the movement. You know how in Ren Yuan we always balance movement with stillness, and this part when we lift from Bai Hui is example of stillness, which is relatively short, but if you feel dizziness or if you feel nice, you can actually do it slowly and stay longer suspended from Bai Hui. Not just a fraction of the segment, but you can spend 1, 2, even more minutes. And you do that when obviously you don't use a tape, so you can pace your practice properly. Okay, yeah, anything else anyone would like to mention? So for the modification, when you have stiffness and you don't want to push, you don't turn the body, because this makes the movement easier. You keep the body facing, forward. You turn just the neck, but you turn it less, so it doesn't create pain, if your neck is stiff. And you do just a smaller circle. So this is when we have limited movement there. But some people could have actually chi may flow there quite well, and they might be ready for the next stage. So let's see what is a more advanced way of doing this practice. When we do it in a how to say, not advanced but normal way, the turning happens, the pivoting point is the Jue. Does everyone know the Jue? It's on the neck. If you go from the skull down, and somewhere in at the base of the neck, there is one prominent vertebra. That is, you can feel it when you go down. That Jue is just below this vertebra. You have the points in your handout, so you can check that Jue after that. So this turning of the head is happening as if your head is attached to that Jue and rotating from there. And this is the standard way of doing the practice. When you become more flexible and there is no stiffness, you can shift the pivoting point further down. So it's not just, the head is hanging from there and turning, but actually more of the spine is turning. And you can keep going down, so you can go to Wei Lu. And when you do this turn, you don't actually bend the body, what I mentioned, and make a very big turn, but you make almost the same size of the turn, but all the vertebrae are moving. So it's like your spine gently participates in the whole movement. So that's what we are aiming for, and then the effect will be much stronger of the practice. That's that. And I'm thinking that we might go to the next section as well. Maybe just start it. There is some time. Anything about this one? So if you have dizziness, don't do it more than 9 times each way, roughly. 9 is not kind of a very precise limit, but gives you an idea, because it can activate too much chi, and you may lose balance if you have such problems, so be careful. Lifting from Bai Hui, remember that's important. Okay, let's go to the next one. It's turning the body. So probably some of you like this very much, and maybe you know that it's also one of the sections that are created by Yuan. Not all of the sections are created by him. Some of them are taken from other Qigong practices because they are actually very good, and there is no need to reinvent what's already good. But this one is invented by Yuan, and I know that some of you really enjoy doing it. I would like just to mention the main principle before we go to any details. And I have here, I don't know if you can see that. Do you see? This is a bamboo stick. So the force comes from the feet. So imagine that this hand is where the feet are. So see how I'm bending. See, the force comes from this hand. And I create tension in the side of the body. And then we release this tension and allow the force to go to the hands. You understand what I'm explaining? Yeah? And then we go to the other side. It's a little bit like whip from one side to another, but because body has joints, it's not like whip. Probably bamboo stick is closer. Bamboo has also joints. And you know, it goes from one joint to another when we do that. So when you do the movements, try to use the same principle, and you can, to feel it, you can actually tense. You know, just for this practice, you can tense the calf or the heel first. Feel tension in the heel, then feel tension in the calf, then in your thigh, in your hip. But once you go to the thigh, you have to relax the calf. And once you go to the hip and the side of the body, you have to relax, you know, the thigh. So it's like the force is traveling upward, and then you do the other side. Maybe most of you know how to do that, but let's do sitting. Let's do sitting one exercise. Just try to copy my movement. To lead the movement with one shoulder. And it makes me feel really nice. Hopefully you can feel that too. So we try to do the same thing, but not just with the shoulders. The movement, we want the movement to start. Maybe we can try with the side of the body rather than the shoulder. And then the hips, but we need to stand up to do it, you know, to start it from the hips. And we can keep going further down because the correct way is to start from the feet. But this is just to illustrate what the movement feels like. So let's do a practice. Let's do a practice. So try to apply this feeling. Let's call it feeling. What you felt, and also what you've seen with the bamboo stick. Okay. I'll do the 6 verses again, so we can prepare for the practice. Or maybe I will do the physical preparation. Okay, let's start.
Turn the body left while
人缘
Practice of 人缘
调整身形，
Adjust the body.
两脚与肩等宽，
Feet apart at shoulder width.
自然站立，
Stand in a natural posture.
两手自然下垂，
Arms hanging naturally.
周身中正，
The whole body centered and upright.
目平视前方，
Look straight forward.
目光回收，
Draw the vision back slowly.
两眼轻轻闭合，
Close the eyes gently.
舌抵上颚，
Tongue tip on the upper palate.
全身自然放松，
Relax the whole body.
头颈放松，
Relax the head.
两肩上肢放松，
Relax the shoulders and arms.
胸背放松，
Relax the chest and upper back.
腰腹放松，
Relax the abdomen and lower back.
两胯下肢放松，
Relax the hips and legs.
全身自上而下放松，从里而外放松，
Relax the body from head to toe, from inside out. Turn the body left while lowering the body. Arms either side of left leg, leading with the right side. Trace a big curve to the right. Then left side leads a curve left.
Keep going. And if you don't feel the force, start with the shoulder movement that I demonstrated. Just from the shoulder to get the feeling. And once you have the feeling, you can try to move a little bit further down. when you go from one side to the other, also shift the weight. So you move from one side to the other, and the weight goes from one foot to the other as well. And those of you who feel they can try to do the force from the feet, you can try that. And if this is your first time, you can focus first on the heel, then on the calf and thigh and hip in order, and see if that might help.
Curve to the right. To the left. To the right.
Carry on. And let's do the last movement to the right. And do a half movement to the center and go to He hands. Nourish Qi at middle dantian. And this is another moment when you can stay longer to allow Qi to balance, similar to what we mentioned in the previous section, pulling up from Bai Hui. Here we do it, we use He hands to do that. And when ready, you can relax hands and sit. Very good, everyone. Everyone is doing it differently, but also I see how everyone puts a lot into it. Would you like to share any experience, any comments? Is there anyone who feels the force coming from the feet? Hands up. So can you share this experience? How do you feel it? It might be very helpful to the other participants. I know that we all have different ways of saying things. So yes, please, Bill.
I feel it coming right out of the ground up my foot, all the way up my leg, lifting the ribs and I mean all the way up. It's kind of a wave, and then a release. I just kind of letting go.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Anyone else? Monica. No sound. I will try to unmute. Okay.
There. Very similar to what Bill said. It just feels like a ripple coming up. It's very nice. The movement is very kind of nice and smooth, and then the arms kind of come over, and it's this. Then this is drawing back, and it's this. Feels like this beautiful. When I first started doing this, I had this image of this, that I'm moving this beautiful piece of cloth, and I'm bringing it over. It was just this image that came up for me. I try not to go to too many images, but it was like I was moving this with this wave, and it's this wave that continues to kind of move itself. It has a rhythm. It's so lovely. It is one of my favorite parts of Ren Yuan.
Yeah, nicely said. Thank you. Isabel, I see that's Isabel there.
Hi, are you hearing me?
Yes, we do.
Okay. I would like to say that this is my favorite part of Ren Yuan. Since I did it sitting, I will not talk about the force coming from the ground. But what I feel is that I feel a lot of resistance in my hands. It's like if I'm turning the sky over me. And it's a very good feeling. Thank you.
Nadu, are you muted? Because I cannot hear you.
Sorry, I was muted. I was saying that, yeah, everyone describes as a wave, as a ripple, and probably that's the right way to describe it and feel it as well. I would like to mention something that when it comes to the arm, there is also twisting movement. See how my hand is going this way? So when it comes to your arm, pay attention, and you should feel also urge to turn your palm backwards, I think it is, yeah. It's like the last bits of the bamboo stick, it goes there, and then we relax. So when we go down, there is no twisting, it's just relaxing. And this is another moment when we, in a way, prepare for the next one. So movements, and then it's not stillness, but the opposite of the movement. So yang qi is rising when we do the movement. When we go down, we allow qi to settle a little bit, and we prepare for the next wave. And actually, we also alternate the both sides. Yang qi goes along the sides, mainly on one side, actually almost in one side, then on the other. So that's another way to balance this segment. So going down is very important as well, because it gives qi time to settle, and also doing He hands at the end create similar effect, even maybe on a deeper level, because when we do that, we connect the channels of the left side with the channels of the right side. With, everyone knows Lao Gong, and it's not only Lao Gong, but we connect in a way all channels in the hand, in both hands, by connecting them like that. So this facilitates further the, to improve the balance between the left and right on the level of qi. So then we can spend more time being in this posture and enjoy the stillness before we do the next part. It's time to finish, but any questions about doing this section?
I don't have a question, but I'd like to add something. I'm kind of dissolved in the universe, so I feel as if it's still a wave, I suppose, but that the whole universe is turning when I'm doing that.
If it's a good feeling, just enjoy it. Yeah. Mary?
I take it the same thing applies about turning at the waist in this. Is it the same as the one that we were talking about in the beginning?
Yes, I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
We try to turn from the waist rather than twisting the knees.
Or the hips?
Well, yeah, hips also can twist a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, mainly from the waist. That's my
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Well, let's finish then. I will send you some points for homework as usual. Also some feedback from session 1, some interesting feedback and inspiring as well. But now let's spend just 1 minute together. Let's close our eyes. And maybe focus on gratitude and love. For all the contribution everyone has done. Also, let's look inside our heart and check if it's more open and how it feels. And let's do Husha hands in front of the chest just for half a minute. And balance our individual chi, also the chi of the whole group. And when you do Husha hands, try to feel the connection between both palms, but do not press, just gently keep them together and feel how they interact. And then visualize your Husha hands are inside the chest, inside middle dantian. And there is uplifting movement of chi. Your middle fingers point straight to Tianmen, the heavenly gate, just in front of Baihui, if you don't know Tianmen area. And your whole body, your chi, also heart and shen are unified and balanced. And you can stay like that. I will disconnect and I will say goodbye for now and see you next time. Thank you, everyone.